Infidelity Recovery Institute has 7 types of affairs. The first affair type that we'll be looking at is the one night stand affair type, or the accidental affair type. Now, let me go through what we mean by when we say an accidental affair. That it was not pre-planned, it was not premeditated, there was no emotional involvement with the other man or the other woman prior to the affair. This can be tricky to really define that, especially if it was a work colleague. But what we mean by that is, was there sexual flirting? Was there this relationship that was building up towards the sexual event? If there was, it wasn't a one-night stand affair type. That's really a type 2 affair, perhaps. Was it just once? Was it truly just one night or just one occurrence? And has it gone on again? Has it happened by mistake another time, or so forth? Then it's not a one-night stand, is it? So on the questionnaire, I want to go through the questions with you right now together, and we can talk through the questions that we ask in the IRI affair type quiz. And this is really going to help you, perhaps together or perhaps you're by yourself, to really laser point the affair type that happened. Now, the first question we ask is this your partner's or your first affair? Now, is it the first affair in your marriage? And in some cases, if you're here in the clinic or seeing one of the affair recovery specialists, they might look at some of your history, because if you're just married and you've had frequent affairs in the past, then you can really look at your behavior as really going into a different type of affair. Maybe you're a philanderer. Maybe you're a bit of a womanizer. Maybe there's something else going on in your history that you're just repeating this pattern of infidelity and cheating. But if this is the first time you've cheated, and it's a longer term relationship or a long-term marriage, or you haven't cheated, if you're 30 something years old and you cheated on a girlfriend in high school and now you've just cheated on your wife in your marriage, you can still classify that as a one night stand affair type. Do you or does your partner feel guilty about the affair? And question 3 was, do you or your partner feel shame about the affair? The reason why we ask this is because the one night stand affair type comes with considerable guilt and shame, because you didn't expect it to happen and you really value your marriage. It means a lot to you and you do not want to end your marriage. And the idea of your marriage ending because of this mistake really haunts you. It hurts you, because not only do you have to defend yourself and the love for your marriage, you're really having to explain to your wife or husband that they mean the world to you and you really do love them. And they're looking at you saying, how can you love me when you've just cheated on me, when you just had sex with another person? But somebody that doesn't have guilt or shame is probably of a different affair type, because they feel like they've got a whole bunch of reasons why they cheated. Okay? Did the affair last more than 4 months? Well, we asked this just to qualify if it was a one night stand or not, because if it was one night stand, it just happened on the one occurrence. And that goes into the next question 5, did the affair happen only once? Do you and your partner normally have a happy relationship? So apart from this mistake that's happened, you may have had several ups and downs in your relationship, because that's completely normal. I like to give the example of the 80-20 principle, that if 80% of the time you guys are quite happy in your marriage, and then the other 20% of the time, like everybody else in life, you're going through life's ups and downs. There's things that annoy you about your partner. Perhaps, it's the way they brush their teeth, or they don't do X, Y, and Z. That is completely normal. It's part of living with another human being. But if you're really unhappy in the marriage anyways, we really have to look at or dig deeper into, is there another affair type that we really should be looking at? Because maybe there's a deeper or unconscious reason why the cheating happened. Do you believe in monogamy? This is important because the assumption is that because you're married, you believe in monogamy, that commitment is your goal. To be monogamous is your goal. To have just one partner is your goal. And that is not true. A lot of people go through the motions of being married and being monogamous and going to church and putting on this face of society, when behind closed doors or in their inner thoughts, they're really thinking that they would like another wife. Because we're global these days, so we're hearing stories from all around the world that you would like another partner sometimes, that you don't feel cheating would be all that bad. But of course, there's no vehicle to talk about that when you're in a marriage for 10 years and you've been committed for 10 years. How do you bring up that type of subject matter? And all of this is completely taboo until cheating actually happens. And this is where you really have to start talking about your innermost desires and needs. But somebody that is who just had a one night stand type of affair may not ever believe that. And so if your beliefs are that you only believe in monogamy and this was purely a horrible, horrible mistake, then yes, you can say it's a one night affair type. If you're really thinking other thoughts, then maybe we have to look at other areas, other affair types to help you get through this period. Do you both want your marriage to continue? This can be a tricky question to ask if you're the partner that's been cheated on and you're thinking, I don't even know what I want right now. Who do I believe? Who do I trust in this world? Everyone really is trying to push me into one area or the other. So perhaps this isn't the best time for you to answer this question if you're the betrayed spouse. But if you're the spouse who has had the one night stand affair type, you definitely want your marriage to continue. You don't want this to be the story of the end of your marriage. This is definitely not what you want. And this is how you can basically say, yes, this is my type of affair and I need a treatment program for this affair type. And the last question we ask is, was there emotional involvement with the affair partner? This can be a little tricky because a lot of one night stand affair types happen when someone's away on a business trip, or with a church group, or with some group that you're feeling like there would be no reason why you would generally cheat, and then all of a sudden you've shared a few stories or maybe drunk too much alcohol, or something has happened where you're not in your normal state of mind and you've really just made a slip. But still, your either social group, your church group, or your workplace, in your workplace, you still have to deal with this person you just cheated with. So when we go into the next steps of this program, and I'll ask you to not have any contact with the person you cheated with, that's going to be really tough if the person you cheated with is a colleague or even your boss. So what we mean by this question, was there emotional involvement? What we mean that was there a lot of flirting or emotional connection, sexual emotional connection that really led you up to the point that when you had the opportunity to sleep with this person, that you took that opportunity. Okay, so there is a big difference between emotional involvement, if it's like workplace and you're just getting on with your work day. Sure, that's an emotional involvement of some sort, but sexually, you know the difference. So really work that out yourself, and it's very important to work out the answers of these questions because you have to know the type of affair that happened in order for you to move forward in your recovery. Now, the Infidelity Recovery Institute will give this affair type about a 9 out of 10 chance of succeeding. And the reason is that generally if we really work on the communication issues, so we can fix some of those needs that haven't been spoken about, the couple can move forward in the future and feel really quite confident they understand each other. And that is a great foundation for friendship. And of course, when there's great friendship, there's great sex, and that leads to happily forever after. So really hang in there if this is your affair type.